On October 4th, 2017, the quiet village of Tongo Tongo in Niger became the epicenter of a deadly ambush that shocked the world. What began as a routine mission for a team of US Special Forces and Nigerian soldiers escalated into a harrowing battle for survival. 4 American Green Berets and 4 Nigerian soldiers lost their lives in a confrontation with overwhelming insurgent forces. This is the story of the Tongo Tongo Ambush, a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the harsh realities of modern warfare. Nestled in the arid landscapes of West Africa, Tongo Tongo lies in a region fraught with danger. The mission was clear: locate and capture Dundu Shefu, a high-ranking IS leader who had orchestrated terror across the region. The joint US and Nigerian forces had trained extensively for operations like this, but nothing could fully prepare them for the day's events. The convoy of 8 pickup trucks carried seasoned Green Berets and their Nigerian counterparts. As they approached the village, they encountered locals whose reactions were uneasy and suspicious. Unbeknownst to the team, they were walking into a well-planned ambush. As the convoy departed Tongo Tongo, sporadic gunfire erupted from the rear. It began with small arms fire, distant and scattered, but it quickly became clear this was not a random encounter. The attackers, hidden in the dense bush, had the advantage of terrain and timing. They initiated the ambush with precision, targeting the rear vehicles to trap the convoy. The gunfire intensified as the convoy moved deeper into a wooded area. Machine guns rattled and mortars exploded around the soldiers. Bullets tore through the air, pinging off vehicles and forcing the convoy to a halt. Smoke and dust filled the air, adding to the confusion. Recognizing the immediate threat, the soldiers dismounted under covering fire, forming defensive positions around the convoy. The team leader, showing exceptional composure under fire, quickly organized a counterattack. Leading a small squad of Nigerian soldiers, he pushed forward to engage the attackers. The initial counteroffensive was successful, with the team neutralizing 4 insurgents. But as the gunfire subsided, a chilling realization dawned on the soldiers. The ambush had only just begun. Emerging from the surrounding brush and savanna, nearly 100 insurgents advanced on the convoy. They came on motorcycles and pickup trucks mounted with heavy machine guns, mortars, and rocket-propelled grenades. Their strategy was brutal and efficient: surround, overwhelm, and eliminate. The sheer number of attackers dwarfed the small convoy, and their relentless advance left no time to regroup. The insurgents' fire was highly coordinated, targeting the vehicles and soldiers' positions with deadly accuracy. The Americans and Nigerians returned fire, holding their ground as long as possible. Each soldier's training kicked in, but the enemy's numbers were overwhelming. Every moment spent fighting allowed the insurgents to close the distance, making escape increasingly difficult. Pinned down and outgunned, the convoy's vehicles became a double-edged sword. They provided temporary cover, but were also prime targets for RPGs and mortar fire. Smoke billowed from burning vehicles, creating a chaotic battlefield where visibility was limited and communication was strained. In the midst of this chaos, individual acts of heroism stood out as soldiers fought to protect one another. As the soldiers attempted to regroup and withdraw, chaos unfolded. Brian Black, Jeremiah Johnson, and Dustin Wright, 3 Green Berets who had been covering the withdrawal, found themselves isolated. Recognizing the overwhelming odds against them, they chose to stand their ground, buying time for their comrades to retreat. Each of them knew the risks, but their focus remained on protecting their team. Brian Black, a dedicated soldier known for his unwavering focus, was the first to fall. He was running alongside a rolling vehicle, providing covering fire when he was struck. Despite the devastating loss, Jeremiah Johnson and Dustin Wright refused to abandon their fallen comrade. Under intense fire, they pulled Black's body into cover, demonstrating their commitment to leave no one behind. Jeremiah Johnson, a soldier with a reputation for his resilience and quick thinking, was the next to be hit. As bullets rained down, he collapsed, gravely wounded. Dustin Wright, instead of retreating to safety, made the extraordinary decision to return to Johnson. Firing his weapon with precision, Wright fought off the advancing insurgents, determined to protect his brother-in-arms. Wright's actions were nothing short of heroic. He held his ground, firing until he too was struck. Despite his injuries, he continued to fight, defending Johnson to the very end. The insurgents, showing no regard for the Geneva Conventions, executed both men at close range. Their sacrifice underscored the deep bond shared by soldiers, a bond that transcends the battlefield. The surviving soldiers, including the team leader, regrouped approximately 700 yards south of the ambush site. Despite being battered and demoralized, they knew they had to act quickly to avoid being overrun entirely. Communication was critical but difficult. Radio transmissions were often garbled, and contact with command was sporadic at best. Nonetheless, the team managed to establish a temporary defensive position. As the insurgents pressed their attack, the convoy's vehicles became lifelines. A wounded driver, despite suffering an injury to his elbow, continued to operate his truck, navigating through enemy fire with remarkable focus. The team leader, despite being hit and falling off the truck bed, was retrieved by his comrades in a daring rescue under heavy fire. The chaos and courage displayed in these moments demonstrated the team's unyielding commitment to each other. The volunteers, who attempted to search for their missing comrades, faced near impossible odds. They advanced cautiously into the ambush zone, only to be met with a renewed wave of enemy fire. RPGs streaked through the air, forcing the soldiers to retreat to avoid complete annihilation. Their effort, though unsuccessful, reflected the bond that drives soldiers to risk everything for their teammates. As the convoy moved again to escape, the rear vehicles continued to draw enemy fire. Ammunition began to run low, and every soldier's marksmanship became critical. One Nigerian soldier displayed extraordinary bravery by stepping out from cover to signal his comrades to avoid a potential friendly fire incident. His selflessness likely saved lives, but it came at great personal risk. The escape became a test of endurance, strategy, and sheer willpower. The vehicles sped across the savannah at breakneck speeds, weaving through hostile terrain, while insurgents in motorcycles and pickup trucks gave chase. At one point, the relentless pursuit and mounting casualties forced the team leader to make a difficult decision: abandon the remaining search efforts and focus on the survival of those still alive. For some soldiers, the fight didn't end even after regrouping. David Johnson and two Nigerian soldiers, unable to keep pace with the convoy during the retreat, found themselves stranded. Despite their best efforts to evade capture, the relentless pursuit of the insurgents caught up to them. The Nigerian soldiers were killed, leaving Johnson to face the enemy alone. David Johnson, the team's mechanic and a man known for his physical endurance and determination, found himself separated during the chaos. With no support and surrounded by enemies, Johnson displayed extraordinary resolve. He evaded insurgents for nearly a mile, running across the open savannah with relentless determination. When he reached a small bush, Johnson made his final stand. Armed only with his assault rifle, he faced insurmountable odds. He fought fiercely, holding off the attackers for as long as possible. Out of ammunition and without communication, he refused to surrender. The insurgents eventually overran his position, but not before Johnson inflicted significant losses on their forces. He sustained 18 gunshot wounds, a testament to his unyielding spirit and refusal to give up. The actions of these soldiers were not in vain. Their bravery bought precious time for their comrades, allowing others to escape and regroup. Their selflessness and sacrifice became a symbol of the unbreakable bond and duty shared by those who serve.